These mussels are Middlestrossalis, otherwise known as, they're called the foolish mussel by some, but they seem to be not so foolish up here. They really, I guess, mussel culture in Alaska was one of the first mariculture operations that started. It actually happened in the Halibut Cove Lagoon. Diana Tillion started in the 80s growing mussels. So historically, it was a really important species to be grown. They're native to the Pacific. You don't have to import the seed like you do with oysters. You can collect them from the wild. And what happened with the farms in Halibut Cove is the sea otter started increasing in population, and then they wiped out the mussel farmers, so they couldn't grow them anymore because they weren't growing them protected. So there are other places in the world that they grow mussels where there's predators like sea ducks, and that they use a predator net. So we propose that we grow mussels on a raft with a net, and our net has a bottom panel, which most farms only have side panels and no bottom. So that could pose some challenges for us, but we've figured out how to at least get them on the raft. So right now these rafts are fully enclosed. We haven't so far had any problems with anything eating our mussels. Okay, so these rafts are called the Kames mussel rafts, and they're actually originated in Scotland, and some farmers from Maine decided that they would start using them in Maine. It's probably in the early 90s, so they brought the design to Maine, and in our mussel demonstration project we thought it would be really good to use a raft that was similar or the same as Maine's rafts, because our conditions are so similar here in the winter with lots of ice buildup, and these rafts can hold like up to 70,000 pounds of weight if needed. So people, at least around here, are very excited that mussels are, starting to be produced again. Like our local restaurant, The Sultry, one of the first things on their menu was blue mussels, and then they didn't have mussels for 15 years, and this year mussels were back on the menu, and people are just loving them. And they're such a great local food source to be able to collect them from the wild and then grow them to market size. A native species, not having to import the seed, it just seems like a no-brainer to us.
Mm-hmm.